psula. Whether it's a chayvi lavim, whether it's a chayvi krisus, a mamzeres, he has to pay knas, even though he's not able to marry her, because you're not permitted to be with a mamzeres. The Mishnah says you have to pay knas. Chayvi krisus, even though the kedushin is not even tofis, nevertheless, he has to pay knas. A person rapes his sister, his sister-in-law, whatever it may be, the various cases. So the Gemara said, but it says in the pasuk, "Lo si Elisha," right? The Gemara said because the pasuk and there are extra words, and from those words I learned chayvi lav and chayvi krisus. That's what the Gemara said. Yeah. Well, stuff from Lafukim Haitana de Tanya. It's about a little below the halfway mark. Lafukim Haitana de Tanya, Velo si Elisha. It says regarding if a person rapes a woman and she's interested in marrying him, he has an obligation, lo si Elisha, he has an obligation to marry her. When is he obligated? When do you pay knas? That's only a woman that if you marry her, although you're not permitted to be with her, there's tfisas kedushin, like a mamzeres. Shimon Omer, Isha Yeshua Havayu. Shimon Menashe Omer, Isha Haru'yu L'Kaimo. It's a woman that you're permitted to retain. So therefore, if you rape a mamzeres, that you're not permitted to remain. Even though if you marry, she's mekudeshes, but since you're not permitted to be with her, so one doesn't pay knas. It says, Lo si Elisha, Reb Shimon Nasi says, Isha Ru'yelo. My beinai, what's the difference between Shimon Atemoni and Shimon Menashe? Isha Ru'yelo Kaimo, my beinai, Omer Reb Zera, mamzeres in the Sinika beinayu. That according to the Mandi Omer, that what, it's, as long as it's this tfisas kedushin, that Shimon Atemoni, Isha Yeshua Havayu, he pay knas. According to Shimon Menashe, it's a woman that you're permitted to be with. Since a mamzeres in the sea, you're not permitted to be with. You don't pay knas. Mandi Omer yesh bo havayo, hanam yesh bo havayo. The mamzeres in the sea. Mandi Omer arui l'kaimo. But according to Shimon Menashe, it says you have to be able to retain or remain married with her. Ha'in arui l'kaimo. So you would not pay knas. Right? That would be the difference between Shimon Menashe. But our Tana holds it's irrelevant. Even though there's no tfisas kedushin, our Mishnah says, I said it could be chayvi krisos. The halacha is you pay knas. So ask now, Reb Kiva's position is that a chayvi lavim is a mamzer. A person marries a chayvi lavim is a mamzer. So if there's a mamzer, there's no tfisas kedushin. So says Reb Kiva domain kedushin toivsim chayvi lavim ma'ika b'inayu. What's the difference between Reb Shimon Menashe and Shimon Atemoni? Right? Because everybody agrees if there's no tfisas kedushin, you don't pay knas. Ika b'inayu amod l'koyin godel. Karib simoi. Now, an almona is not permitted to, a Kohen girl is not permitted to marry a widow, even if she's a virgin, right? It's a lav. But again, so even though Reb Kiva normally holds from a chayvi lavim, there's a mamzer, and there's no tfis kedushin, amad l'kohen gadol is an exception to the rule. Why? Because it's based on the pasuk, Reb Simoy, the Tainus, min hakol oser Reb Kiva mamzerim. Reb Simoy says, according to Reb Kiva, every lav is a mamzer. If you violate a lav, it's a mamzer. Chutz mi amon l'kohen gadol, but amon l'kohen gadol, it's not a mamzer. If it's not a mamzer, then there's tfis kedushin. Why? Shre'omer Torah lo yikach v'lo yichalel. It says he's not permitted to take an almona, a kohen gadol, but it says, but what is the consequence if you do take her? Lo yichalel. Chilul n'osa ve'nosa mamzerim. The child that's born is not a mamzer, but a cholo. So therefore, because this tfisas kedushin, so that's the nafkamina. According to Shimon Atemoni, person rapes, a kohen gadol rapes almona. What's the halacha? According to Shimon Atemoni, he pays knas. Because if he should marry her, there's tfisas kedushin. According to Shimon Nasir, he has to be permitted to retain her, to keep her as a wife. There isn't. So Mar asks now, that's according to Reb Simoy. Or Reb Yeshevov. According to Reb Yeshevov, he holds that even Reb Kiva holds, even by Amon Kohen Gadol, also, it's a mamzer. So according to him, what's the nafkamina between Shimon Atemoni and Reb Shimon Nasir? Okay? Or Reb Yeshevov, the Omer Bo Nitzaveach al Akiv ben Yosef Shoy Omer Kol She'en Lo Bia B'Yisrael Havolad Mamzer. That includes even Kohen Gadol, Amon Kohen Gadol. So what's the what's the difference between Shimon Atemoni and Shimon Nasir? Ika beinayu chayvi esay. Looking at it together. Chayvi esay. If there's an essay, what is that? Mitzri v'adomi. Mitzri adomi it's chayvi esay. So if it's a question of tfisas kedushin, there's tfisas kedushin. So therefore, according to Shimon Atemoni, you pay knas. According to Shimon Nasi, you have to be permitted to remain with her. You're not permitted to remain with the Mitzri. A woman is a Mitzri. She converted. Somewhere says, Hanichel Rabbi Shevov. Somewhere says, Rabbi Shevov is the one who says that every lav chayvim is a mamzer, including Amon al Kohen Gadol. Somewhere says, Hanichel Rabbi Shevov. Ila fukumitayim Rabbi Simoi kosi shapir. Right? So that's the reason why it's very good. Irab Shev Hai Kol She'elo Heter Bia to cover Alibid Rabbi Akiva, Lav Klo Lakaya, Lafuki Rabbi Simoi. That's what he says. He's coming to argue Rabbi Simoi. He's going the Poligla Sufi Chayvi Lavim Bekuna. That's what he's coming to say. That even a what, even a model Kohen Gadol is a mamzer. That's what he says. Bon Tzavech El Akiv ben Yosef. He's coming to add. He's coming. It's not like Rabbi Simoi says. Rabbi Simoi says that al model Kohen Gadol, even though it's a lav, it's not a chayv, it's not a mamzer. He says, no, it's not true. Even that's a mamzer. He says, Honich Rabbi Shova v'ila fugim time the Rabbi Shimoi kose shapir el e time the nafshi komar koshen b'yisov la mamzer v'afil chayv yesei. Right? He's addressing if any time you're not permitted to be with a woman, it's a mamzer, even a chayv yesei. My benayu. So what's the difference between Shimon HaTeimoni and Rabbi Shimon Nasio? Even Chaviesi is a mamzer. Ikebenayu be'ula l'kohen gadol. A bula kohen gadol. Right? And kohen gadol is only permitted to marry a what? A bsula. What happens if she's a bula? It's a lav. Or maishno. Maishno. Why is bula kohen gadol different than all the other essay? Right? It says bula, it says bsula ba'mavikoch. It's also mitzvah saseh. It's not a lav. It's a mitzvah saseh. We're saying by mitzri and adomi, there's a mamzer, there's no tfisas kedushin. But Bula, L'Kohen Gadol, there is Tfisas Kedushin. Right? So Mares, Bula Kohen Gadol, Maishno, Davi, Esi, Shein, Shabbat, Bakol. You hear this? Mitzri and Adomi, no Jews permitted to marry. That's called mitzvah, that's a mitzvah saseh, which is Shabbat, Bakol. We don't finish Kohen, not Kohen. But over here, Bula, it's limited to the Kohen Gadol. So because it's Mesesha in Shabbat, Bakol, even Reb Kiva would agree that what? That the child is not a mamzer, and therefore there's Tfisas Kedushin. So according to Rabbi Sheva, what would the nafkami between Rabbi Shimon Nasio and Shimon HaTeimoni? Bula Kohen Gadol. According to Shimon ben Nasio, you don't pay knas because you're not permitted to retain her. And according to Shimon HaTeimoni, you do pay knas because this thesis kedushin. Okay? Omar Rav Chizdo, Hakol Modim Mebola Nidu Shem Shalom Knas. The Mishnah says everybody agrees. Let's say a woman's a nida, she's a virgin, and he rapes her when she's a nida. So even though there's chayvi krisus, you pay knas. So why? Because l'mandiyu meyishba avayo hanami yishba avayo. It says lo si elisha. According to the position that there has to be tfisas kedushin, a nida, a person marries a nida, it's tfisas kedushin. L'mandiyu ruli kaimo hanami ruli kaimo. A nida, you're permitted to retain her as a wife, right? You're permitted to be. It'll pass. Ula fugd Reb Nechuni ben Akone. Meaning, our Mishnah comes to argue on Reb Nechuni ben Akone. Now, our Mishnah says, what's the reason why by all the chayvi krisus, whether a person rapes his sister-in-law, his aunt, whatever, all these cases, why is there a kanas? Because the Mishnah says, because it's only a chayvi krisus, it's not Mrs. Bezdin. If it would be Mrs. Bezdin, we discussed yesterday, if a person does one act, and the act has a greater liability and lesser liability, the greater absolves you from the lesser. That's Kim Levi Drabminei. By Korex, we don't skim Levi Drabminei. The Mishnah, our Tana holds it's only if it's a death penalty and a lesser infraction. So we're talking, person rapes his sister. So that act brings about a double liability. Korex, and also the penalty, the monetary payout. So if it would be, let's say he would rape his can be his mother, he would rape somebody else who would be a neshus ish. Let's say she'd be a married woman, right? Minak from Kedushin. She's a virgin. Somebody marries a woman, she's 12 years old, a virgin, and he rapes her. Everybody agrees there you don't pay knas. Why? Because he said, since there's a chiv Mrs. Bezdin, since there's the liability is the death penalty, if we have the death penalty, it absolves you from any lesser liability. Smar says, no, because we learn from the pasuk based on psukim. We're going to see. Of course, we learn it right. It says v'lo ye'oso, right? Ki notzu anoshim nokvi shahara v'lo ye'oso. Ho ye'os. It says right. You pay for the v'lodos. But if there is an oson, you don't. So over there we're talking about killing the person. So that's what we look. Kim leim rabminei. Reb Nechoni ben Akona says im b'chayv krisus. Im b'chayv krisus, you say kim leim rabminei. Somewhere says we're saying by nida everybody agrees. You rape a nida who's 12 years old, who's a virgin, you pay knas. Because it's rui l'kaima, and also it's the yesh ba'avayu. But lafugin Reb Nechoni ben Akona. This comes to argue Reb Nechoni ben Detanya. Reb Nechoni ben Akona hoyose es Yom Kippurim ki Shabbos l'teshlumim. Here, Reb Nechoni ben Akona says that Yom Kippur is no different than Shabbos. Let's say a person goes and picks a fruit on Shabbos, steals a fruit on Shabbos, or bites out of fruit on Shabbos. So he does two things simultaneously. He's reaping, right, and he's stealing. There's no liability for stealing. Because the act of picking that fruit is what? Is Mrs. Besdin. It's the death penalty. But let's say you do the same thing on Yom Kippur. According to us, we don't say Kibbutz Yom because it's Koris. Yom Kippur is Koris. The act of picking the fruit and the monetary liability is what? It's Koris. Koris doesn't absolve you from the monetary. Shabbos it would. Yom Kippur not. Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona says no. Yom Kippur is exactly like Shabbos. Just as on Shabbos we say Kim leim rabminei, you cannot have a monetary liability if it happens simultaneously with death penalty. Identically, Yom Kippur, when you have Koris simultaneously with the monetary thing, the Gemara speaks about it. A person takes a slave, somebody's slave, and he goes and he ties him up, puts him in the field, and he lights the field. He ignites the field. So if you hold Eishos Namishub Chitzov, so if you hold lighting a fire, you're just a damager. But what did you do? What did that fire cause? It caused two things. It caused the death penalty, and also it caused the what? The man's asset. The slave is the man's asset. So there's double liability. So when we're talking about murder and monetary loss, you're absolved from the monetary loss, right? Because you have a dual liability. One's death penalty, the other is monetary. You're a damager. You damaged the man's asset. It's a Canaanite slave. Everybody agrees there. Kim leim rabminei. Since you have the more severe penalty, it absolves you from the lesser. But on Yom Kippur, which is only Koreis, we don't say that. But Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona says, Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona hoyo says Yom Kippurim Shabbos l'tashlumim. Ma Shabbos mischai ben nafsho upotem min tashlumim. Av Yom Kippurim mischai ben nafsho upotem min tashlumim. Now the question is, where is he coming from? Where does Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona get this from? My time to Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona. Omar Kroch. Omar Abaye. Nemer also be the Yodom. It says lo ye osom, right? It says two people are fighting to the death, and one punches a pregnant woman, causes her to miscarry. So it says if there's no tragedy, she doesn't die, you pay for the fetuses. What's the difference? But if there is a tragedy, you don't pay for anything. So over there we're talking about because that one action brought about two things. It killed the woman, and it caused the woman to miscarry. It says so it says what does it say? Osun by Yom Kippur? What? No. Where is B'dei Shemayim? By Yaakov, by Binyamin, right? So it says Osun B'dei Shemayim, right? And it says also by Imlo Yoso, by the two people fighting. Yeah. It's not a Gzerah. It's a Gilui. It's a Gilui Milsa. Gilui. We're equating the Oson, just as by that Oson Torah says you're absolved from the lesser if that Oson takes place. Identically, if this Oson takes place, you're also absolved. It's Oson, as long as it's Oson. A second. Yeah, further. Maskav lo Ravada Baravo. So Ravada Baravo asks, he's learning Oson Oson. He's saying that is the source of Rabbi Nechoni ben Akona. Mimai d'chi mizir. Lo Yaakov b'nei al tzinum pachim. De Beishamayim ninu dilmo. Al Aryeh v'nanvi. De b'nei odom ninu. Hear this. Yaakov was concerned there may be an Oson. Right? With Binyamin. Shema Kro Oson. So we're saying also represents b'dei. He says, how do you know? Maybe it's tzinim pachim. Tzinim pachim b'dei shema. What's tzinim? Tzinim means a person catches a cold. That's tzinim. Pachim also. Heat and cold. Person has a heat stroke or whatever it is. Dies of thirst. You never know what could happen on the way. So he says, maybe Kara Oson by Yaakov, he says, maybe you'll be attacked by robbers, by bandits. You'll be attacked by an animal. That's not B'dei Shemayim. That's B'dei Odom. So Mara asks, Rega, Mimai Dichi Mazal Yaakov Lebonei, Al Tzinim Pachim, Di B'dei Shemayim Ninu, Dilma Al Ari V'Ganvi, Di B'dei Odom Ninu. So Mara says, Oto Yaakov, Ho Aser, Ho Lo Aser. Yaakov Kumalid Aser. Yaakov is warning him to be careful about it. What is his current concern is on both levels. Or B'dei Odom and B'dei Shemayim. So the word also includes both. So Mara asks, V'tzinu Pachim B'dei Shemayim Ninu. Then Mara asks, even the original, the supposition that you asked the question. Yeah, the Gemara says, you mean Tzinu Pachim, heat and what and cold, that's B'dei Shemayim, V'otanya. We learned the Braiso. Hakol B'dei Shemayim, Chutz Mitzinu Pachim. Everything is predetermined by Shemayim, except for cold and what? Cold and heat. Meaning, you're able to, you dress warm, you don't get sick. So a person gets sick, why does he get sick? Because he was careless. A person gets heat stroke because he stayed in the sun. That's not B'dei Shemayim. Shenemar, Tzinu Pachim b'derach ikesh. You hear this? Who's affected by Tzinu Pachim? It's the derach ikesh, a person who acts irresponsibly. Guy who's twisted. Shomen nafsho yirchak mehem. But a person who's careful, who's responsible for his neshama, he doesn't allow himself to come to a position where he'll be exposed to what? The heat and cold, that he should become sick. So that's not B'dei Shemayim. V'su ari v'gan b'dei odom ninu. And a person's attacked by a lion. That's not B'dei Shemayim, or a thief, or Omar, Rav Yosef. Famous Gemara, famous Taisus. Omar Rav Yosef, v'chein tonu Rav Yechio, miyom she'chora beis hamikdosh, alpi shebotlu Sanhedrin. Although the Sanhedrin ceased to function, and therefore there's no implementation of the Dal Mises Bezdin, they don't put people. Arba Mises Bezdin lo botlu. The 4 death penalties haven't come to an end. Mar says lo botlu, habotlu. If you have no Sanhedrin, there's no Arba Mises Bezdin. Mar says no. Habotlu elo din Arba Mises Bezdin lo botlu. Meaning the effect. What does that mean? The judgment hasn't come to an end. Mishin is chayev skilo. A person who was liable to be put to death by stoning. O nofel min agag, o dorsoso, o chaya dorsoso. Here, the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, when they gave skila, what did they do? You think it's like in Afghanistan? It's not Afghanistan. They would put a person on an elevated platform, the equivalent of his height. They would tie his feet together and his hands behind his back, and they'd push him up backwards. When he falls, he breaks his neck because he can't brace himself. And then afterwards, if he's still alive, they take one rock, a boulder, and they put it on his chest, and it crushes him. It's not they throw it. They don't destroy the body. The body's not destroyed. They just put it, and he's crushed. He's crushed to death. That's what they do it, if he's not dead. So what's the equivalent of that? Today we have no Sanhedrin. If a person falls off a roof, what happens? He falls to his death also. Similar, like falling off the elevated location. What about when a lion attacks a person? Before it goes, it knocks the person to the ground. When the lion hits that person and slams into the ground, the person is basically dead already. When the lion starts eating the person's dead already. It's with such force, the person breaks his neck immediately. The person's dead already. The velocity of that charge. What was Sreifa in time of the Sanhedrin? They would take molten lead and they pour it down his throat. So what is the equivalent of Sreifa? O nova b'dleiko. Either he dies by fire, he falls into a fire, or nochsh b'chisho. He's bitten by a venomous snake. The venom burns through his body, similar to the lead going down his system. Mishin schreibt harigo. What about a person who was meant to be put to death by sword? O nimsa lemalchus. O listim bon olav. Either he's decapitated by the government, the guillotine, or bandits on the road. They go and they that's the ISIS. That's what it is. Omishin is chayiv chenek, person who deserves the judgment of strangulation, and there's no bezdin. Otoveh benor, he drowns. Drowning is asphyxiation. O mesbesach runchi, dies of a certain thing, what a diphtheria, where the his air passages close up and he just dies. So it's difficult. So how could you say before that what? That sinim pachim is what? Is bidei shamayim. And thieves and what? And the animal is bidei odom. We see to the contrary. Ela epoch. We'll invert the order. Ela epoch. Ari v'gan bidei shamayim. Sinim pachim bidei odom. Rava Omar, time with Reb Nechunya ben Akonim Hocha. Rava says it's not like Abai says it's what? Ukro also. Rava says no. Rava Omar, time with Reb Nechunya ben Akonim Hocha. It says Vim Halim Yalimu Am Oretz Esinim in Ishahu Besitu Mizar Molech. Right? It was a type of idolatry where they would pass a child through the fire. There are two fires on each side, and they would pass them through the fires, and that's the way they worship this deity called Molech. So over there it says, so what is the Bezdin obligated to do? They're obligated to put him to death, right? That's idolatry. It says, if the people, they turn a blind eye on this, I will focus on this man and his family, and I will cut him off. That's what Hashem says. If the court doesn't implement the death penalty, Hashem says, I'll take care of it. Him and his family. Omra Torah, Kores Shali, Kamisa Shalachem. Meaning, if you don't put him to death, the Sanhedrin is what? Is negligent. Or they're not responsible, they don't put him to death. My Kores will come in the place of your death penalty. Right? So we see, Hashem says, my Kores, Omra Torah, Kores Shali, B'misa Shalachem. Ma misu shelchem potem min hatashlumim, af kori sheli potem min hatashlumim. Right? That the death penalty absolves you. That's the pasuk you also. Ma'ika ben rovo labaye. Whether you learn from the pasuk of what? Whether you learn from what is it? What he said before. If crow also, or you learn from over here from Molech. What's the halachic difference? Is there a halachic difference where you learn from? If you learn from the first location, right? Is there a difference? Versus ikabay nayu zor shachal truma. What's the halacha if a non-kohen eats truma? What's the liability? Not koris. It's misa b'dei shamayim. Misa b'dei shamayim is not as severe as koris. Koris is more severe. So if a non-kohen eats truma, labai poter. Because what's that? Because crow also is b'dei shamayim. That's koris. Well, the Rav Chayev. 1 second. Social chum bezed. Hu b'misa b'dei shamayim v'lo b'koris. Koris hu v'zaru nenoshim d'chsiv arim yu. Koris is more severe. Labai poter tashlum nafkloi me'oso b'dei shamayim. Anything which is b'dei shamayim. If you learn from Avodah Zorah, it's my koris. It says, right? The pasuk says. Right? Vichrati also. I will cut him off. Kores. So Kores is the equivalent of the death penalty. But it's more severe than what? Than Misa b'dei shamayim. So according to Abai, you be potter. Because that's b'dei shamayim. According to Rav Yechayev. Well, Abai potter. You mean to say according to Abai potter. V'omar Rav Chizda. Mod Reb Nechunya ben Akona begoniv chelbo shel chaveiro. What's that loch if you eat chelev? Here, chelev is the non-kosher fat of the animal. The halacha is the liability is misa b'dei shamayim. It's not koris. It's misa b'dei shamayim. Go to chelo shalvero v'ochlo shu chayev yechayev. Now, what's the halacha? According to Reb Nechunya ben Akona, he says kimlei drabni by what? By koris, we're saying, or maybe misa b'dei shamayim according to Abaye. So now. When a person steals, when does the financial liability come? The moment you take it. What about after he steals, he eats it? What's the eating? The eating doesn't create the financial liability. What created the financial liability is the stealing. To say kimli v'drabnei, both liabilities have to come about simultaneously. If one precedes the other, then we don't say kimli v'drabnei. A person steals and then he does something else afterwards. which carries death penalty. See, he has double. He has to do both. He's put to death, but yet his estate is what? Is leaned to the financial obligation. It's only if it takes place simultaneously. So if a person would steal chaylev, so the moment you steal chaylev, you have a monetary obligation. Now he eats the chaylev. Eating is misdei shamayim. So they don't happen simultaneously. So what happens? He has to pay, and he's liable for misdei shamayim. He says, why shouldn't it? Right? Because he already was liable for stealing before he violated the provision of eating chaylev. Chaylev is when you eat, it goes down your gullet. Alma, what do we see? Because the moment he picked it up, he acquired it as a thief. But when does he have the liability of eating chaylev? Lo hava ad ochelei. When does that come about? When he swallows it, when he eats it. Ochaname, ve'idno da'agbe kanyo. Mischai ben nafsho lo havi ad ochelei. He says some question. We're saying according to Abaye that if you eat truma, a zor eats truma, you potter. How are you potter? The moment the zor takes the truma, what happened? He sees a thief. And when he eats the truma, that's the misdei shamayim. So that's the Gemara's question. How could the Gemara say according to Abaye that since he says kimlei drabnai by misdei shamayim, a zor shachol truma is potter? We see from chaylev this is not the case because unless they happen simultaneously, the halach is we don't see kimlei ben drabnai. What? The chimis is afterwards. It's not when he takes it, because one preceded the other. That's the first question. Hachanami bidna da'agbe kanyo. The moment the zor took the truma, he acquired it. Mischai ben nafshel avad ochelei. Hochab ma'искino go shetochel v'chaver toch piv. Yeah. It's not speaking where he took it. Somebody put it into his mouth. He put it into his mouth. So therefore, it's what? It's simultaneous. And where asks, sof, keved lasa kanye. When the man chews up the truma, the moment he chews it, he's already a thief. Mischai ben nafshel avi ad bolo. And he's not liable for what? For as a misdei shamayim until he swallows it. So again, it's not simultaneous. So Mara says, tochav lo letoch beis abliyo. The person took it and pushed it all the way down his throat. So the man didn't chew it. He swallowed. So the swallowing, which is the eating, and destroying it, comes simultaneously. If he's able to cough it up, let him cough it up. And if he pushed it down so far down that he can't bring it back, why is it chayev? Right? Because what's the reason? Because he's an onus. He's not chayev misdei shamayim. He was force-fed. Somebody pushed it down his throat. So Rashi, if he could cough it up, he's the mazik already then. Because he could have brought it back, so that's not called simultaneous. So Rashi explains. The one who put it down, since you could have coughed it up, the person who put it in your throat, in your mouth, he's not the mazik. And if he can't, and he can't cough it up, so he's an onus, the man forced it down his throat. Yeah. No, not knas. He'll have to pay damages, maybe. For nene, he'll pay nene. Nene will pay. So therefore, that's why it's simultaneous. Rav Papa Omar gon shetochelo chaver mashkin shel truma toch piv. So there was no chewing. It was liquid. Mashkin shel truma. Lo s'chenu l'shnuyi bebeis abliya elo bikevan shetochelo l'toch piv imasalei. The moment the liquid goes in his mouth and ready, the damage takes place. Lo motzes l'chiyuve mishum gzeilo. Lo l'chazi l'midi hanos grono. Umeyav b'schayiv umisu tashlum bon kechod. So the moment it's put in his mouth, it's damaged. So what's the monetary obligation? The benefit. So the benefit and the what and the eating, that comes simultaneous. Here, Mishum gzelo do lo chazi lemidi ela hanoy grono hanoy grono meyov mechayev umistash lumin bon kechot. Everything comes simultaneously. Shtochel chaver mashkesh al trum toch piv v'vashi yoma bezor shochel truma mishalo. Simple. He ate his own truma. Let's say a person purchased truma. A Kohen purchases truma from a Kohen. So there's no financial liability, correct? The cost sirod shel chaveiro. Okay, we'll stop here.